right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. Peace and blessed salutations. Hopefully they got there pushing His word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect of believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now, what I want to get into, this morning, all right, is dealing with going through it to get to it, okay? This is a response video from the brother Anah out of Memphis, all right, priest Anah out of Memphis camp. On the brother page GMS, look up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, be edified, okay? Diligent young brother in the spirit, and he did a video, based on a comment I made in the live stream, all right, on the way to work, and he did the video on it. It's a great video. It's called Get Through It, to go through it to get to it, because as we understand, you understand the promises. If you just understand the peace of the promise, okay, that the Heavenly Father made to our forefathers, that we, all right, have a chance to inherit, and that's why it's important to understand what we're a part of. There's a lot of people, that know that they're Israelites, they have the fringes, the menorah, okay, they hip to the Mediterranean restaurant, but they don't know what they're a part of. They don't understand what's at stake, okay? And as we understand what's at stake, we understand, all right, as the scriptures say, through much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom, okay? Because we gotta go through particular things, we gotta take particular losses to get to the kingdom. But the beautiful thing about it, the Most High, has given us time to really count the cost and to consider, because pretty much you can about tell the people that are around us, people we grew up with, our family members, friends, we pretty much are dead to a lot of things and a lot of people already, and that's part of counting the cost. During this time, before it really goes down, the Most High is putting the spirit on us to already, be separated and be detached, okay, from a lot of things and people. Now you can still, deal with particular people, be cordial and not be detached, because you already have a mindset like, hey, this could be a loss, and the Most I can do his thing and flip it around and convert him at the end, and that's great. But see, you gotta be prepared for the loss. You really should meditate on the loss, have a mindset towards the loss, because it's easier to, the Most High to surprise us and like, damn, he got him right before the end, than to this whole time hoping that this person or these people are, was gonna make it, then they don't, So we gotta go through particular things to really get to it, even just dealing with, accepting, particular losses, man. Now, the thing I watched yesterday, which I'm kind of behind on, the House of Dragon, the spinoff, from the Game of Thrones, dealing with House Targaryen, the lineage of the Mad King. So, the episode I watched yesterday, it was the one from last week, and what you had was, you had this woman die, all right, who had the biggest dragon, of all. Now, she died, and her daughters were supposed to inherit you know, that dragon. Okay, while they was mourning and crying, you had the son of the king, which he wasn't the heir. You know, he had an older brother. His older brother, you know, just some drunk nigga. You know, he just want party and folly. You know, but his younger brother, he's more serious minded. You know, his name Aiden. You know, Aemon, I mean. So he's more serious minded. So while everyone's asleep, he goes and pretty much tames, okay, the biggest dragon of all. Now this is a probably 12-year-old boy, you know. But while everybody else was asleep, he went to go tame that dragon. Now, it's a lot that went into that. It's a 5-minute scene. But when he first went to the dragon, you know, wasn't cooperative. Okay? The dragon had got to the point where when it opened his mouth and you see that fire kindled in his mouth. Okay? But he didn't budge. You know, little buddy didn't budge. He was like, so they let me know then he had his mind made up like, shit, I could die. You know, he had his mind made up like, shit, I could die. So that was already factored in before he went out there that he could die. Because he stood right in front of the mouth of that dragon. And then he started to take ownership. He started to give those commands, okay, to that dragon. Now, when he first started, the dragon was still uncooperative, but he stayed consistent. Okay? And then eventually, the dragon had a level of respect for him and allowed him to climb on him. And he started giving the commands for the dragon to fly, and the dragon took off. Okay? And now, it was one scene when the dragon was going straight up, and he was barely hanging on by the rope. He wasn't even on the saddle. You see? But he was hanging on. He was fighting. You know? He was fighting. So then he pulled himself up. You can tell he used all the strength in his body to pull himself up to that harness. And then he harnessed that dragon, and then he started flying. And eventually he was on the dragon celebrating. Okay? And then he came back to King's Landing, and he parked that bitch, and he hopped off, you know, and all his cousins, okay, which was, you know, the House of Nobles. They was the next generation of royalty, you know. But all his cousins shit was tripping, all right. And he started, you know, he was whooping it, okay. And she was like, the little girl was like, that's my mother's dragon. And he was like, look, your mama dead. Okay? You know, fuck, she dead. Alright? And then he was like, shit, you should have claimed it. Shit. And so they got to fighting and scuffling. And eventually, his cousin cut his eye out. And he had, you know, he lost his eye gone. And so it was a big fuss in the king's court about the situation. You know, the king, you know, he's pissed. You know, he's telling them to look, y'all family, you know, he shouldn't be like this, you know, the whole spiel. And, you know, really it was the women that were just going berserk. You know, his mama and the king's daughter, you know, they was going berserk towards each other. But the little boy, he told his mama, he was like, shit, it's all good. He like, I lost an eye, but shit, I got a dragon. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even tripping about the eye. He still like, shit, I got the dragon. Damn, the eye. You see? And that's the mindset. And I'm looking at them like, damn, you know, because the scriptures talk about that. Matter of fact, let's get it. Now, this doesn't mean, you know, you literally pull your eye out, you know. This just shows that, look, he counted the sacrifice, man. You see, what he gained, he considered that greater than his eye. Okay, which is the biggest dragon. Okay, because that was a power move, and what we're doing in the spirit, this is a power move. That's why you go to Matthew 5:29. It says, "And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out." Now you go into the word offend thee, that means something that's a hindrance. Something that's stopping you from obey what we should obey. Okay, and there's certain things and people that you cut off because the bigger picture, man. Okay, you got to think. What will if we're one of those men that's going to be crowned by Yahushua, what are we going to be thinking about that we lost to get to this moment? Okay, and you can tell that little boy, he was 12, he wasn't even thinking about that eye no more. Like his mom and them were arguing about that shit. He was he was concerned about getting back on that dragon. He had already looked past that shit. The loss of an eye, he was already looking past that. You see? And that's how we have to be in the spirit. We looking towards your house shot, man. Okay? We look past the losses, man. You gotta go through it to get to it. He went through it, but he got the biggest dragon of all, man. And you know that's gonna play a part in events to come. And it says, "And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is possible for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell." Because he could have still had his eye if he never would have decided to go out there and get that dragon. He would still be whole. Okay? But he wouldn't have the dragon. You see? And anything that we really want, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a sacrifice, man. Anything from small thing to big things, it's a fight. Okay? If you're a brother, you want to gain muscle, that's a fight. It's a discipline. Okay? You want to lose weight, that's a fight. That's a discipline. You gotta go through it to get to it. And it's balance. Okay? Dealing with your situation, you gotta be, balanced according to your situation. But anything you gain is worth something, gonna require some sacrifice. Some gonna get cut off. Somebody gonna get cut out the picture, man. You see? Verse 30, and it says, "And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell." And not thy whole body shall be cast into hell. Okay? Which is destruction, man. Here it is, you still cool with your auntie, but you and your auntie finna get nuked, man. You still got that bond, with your little brother that never converted. Okay, y'all still super cool, but y'all finna be nuked. Okay, this how we have to understand. Hey, we're gonna have to get through it, all right, to get to it. Or you still got that job. Okay, you earn 6 figures with free travel and discounts on hotels. You still got that, but then you're ground zeros and nukes on the way, man. Okay, so hey, we'd rather lose and go through it, okay, and get to it, man. so we can get to it. And Apostle Paul, he pushed that a lot. Him and Yahushua, they pushed that a lot, man. Okay, when you go here. Bring this out, this Philippians. Philippians 3:7. It said, "But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach." Okay? There's nothing. You have to be having the mindset to trade everything in for Yahushua, man. Okay? Everything we got to have a mindset, look, push it all to the middle of the table for Yahushua, man. Okay? You gotta go through it. Take some losses. We're gonna be looked at crazy. We're gonna look at as domestic terrorists, and you know, we're gonna be plastered. We're gonna be hated. We're gonna be ridiculed. Okay, some brothers gonna be snatched up, man. You know, brothers probably be in dungeons. You know, there's a chance we could be in a damn dungeon somewhere, man. You know, all for the gain of your house shot. And no matter what we go through or what we lose, man, once we get what we're gonna get, okay, it was script say it ain't even worthy to compare. Like the things that we're gonna go, anything that we can possibly go through, okay, to attain, all right, salvation first, the deliverance, you know, from the destruction, okay, even that in itself, just to be on the chariots while America's a lake of fire, okay, just salvation itself, okay, it's gonna be worth everything we lose on this side, man. You know, I never want to know how it feel, all right, to be in nuclear fire, man. Okay, I'm good. You know, reading on, and it says, "Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua Mashiach, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahushua." Okay, it's always a bigger picture, man. Okay, the winning of Yahushua. Okay, and even if we with you women, like if if a brother, you know, is part of the elect, like that's an elect man of Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay, what's more valuable than that? What would you want to hang on to? Okay, and trade in for that. And this type of mindset you gotta have, man. You know, because it's gonna be the Most High gonna change things up, man. He gonna switch things around. He gonna move things around to set up, all right, order going into the kingdom, man. You know, and there's gonna be some losses in there, man. Okay, but you gotta count them losses as dumb. Understanding, okay, it's a bigger play in hand. Okay, but when I seen that last night, you know, I was watching that House of Dragon, I'm like, damn, you know, little buddy, little buddy, shit, he went through it to get to it, you know, and he stood on this shit. Like he came back to the palace, he stood on this shit, like shit, hey, fuck your mama, basically, all right, my dragon, nigga, okay, because at the end of the day, when they got through fighting, guess what? It's still his dragon. All right, no matter how the people feel, people's emotional, and he shouldn't have did, and now my mama, that's his dragon now. All right, now they got to deal with their problem. Okay, so at the end of the day, no matter how people feel, guess what? If we're part of that number, hey, them thrones, hey, that's gonna be ours, man. You see, and that's the mindset, you know, we have to move with, especially in these times, man. You know, but that was the point. You know, I just want to bring that out. You know, thought that scene was pretty interesting. You know, compared to what we going through, man. You know, hey, we gotta go through the danger to get to the glory. You know, we gotta go through the danger to get through the glory to the glory. All right, just as Yahushua did. All right, Yahushua literally went into the belly of the dragon. All right, and came out with glory, man. You know, during the crucifixion. So, Lord, will you brothers and you few sisters edified? Till the next time I say Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Abba, DTA soon, Shalom.